Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special broadcast. I don't even know what to call this because this isn't a crypto talk. Yeah, well, I guess we can call this a special crypto talk. This is Bitcoin Brandon Ivy from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy, ILCA for short, where we teach the basics of crypto education. Go ahead and type your name in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for education, entertainment, and training purposes only, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. I see we've got Miss Johnson from Wyoming. Welcome. I see Miss Casa from Colorado. Mr. Sanabria from Bethel Ridge, Kentucky. Dorothy Mays, good evening, good evening. Ann Perez from Rochester, New York. Mr. O'Brien from Tampa, Florida. Julian from Alabama. Hey, Julian, you wouldn't happen to be from Montgomery, would you? Get your folding chair ready. Let's see, Brad Ball from Idaho. Alan Swales from Jacksonville, Florida. That's where my family is from, the Ivy side. Let's see, Leonard Long, here to listen. Can't respond, that's all good. St. Petersburg, Florida, I'm going to assume that is Jacqueline. Yashika Anderson from Georgia. CJ from Fort Lauderdale. Jerry from Auburn. All right. Yeah, well, you're close enough. I know you heard what's going down. I can't wait for tomorrow's press conference. That's going to be wild. See, Daryl from Texas. Good evening, Daryl. All right. Normally, this is my time off. I don't do anything at this time except when I'm doing my 5-day challenge. But we had a revelation today this morning in my crypto talks that I decided, in our inner circle, I will share this with the world. We'll do it publicly tonight. I think it's important that we understand in the crypto space what's about to happen, and not just in crypto. I've been in this crypto space now since 2016, the first time I bought Bitcoin. I've known about Bitcoin since 2010, and I did nothing about it until 2016 when I actually bought some Bitcoin. 2017, when I really started to learn about it, I had my aha moment that changed my life, and I've shared this story over and over and over again. But ever since then, we were always wondering, what moment would it be that's going to make Bitcoin become universal, becoming widespread adoption? Right now, I still believe it's going to happen first through the gaming industry with metaverse and NFTs and the tokenization of digital assets. But also, you got to follow the river of money. What other institutions are going to get involved in this space that will force everybody else to, whether they like it or not, whether they believe it or not, whether they understand it or not, what's going to force them to move in this space and take action? but it's going to have to be businesses and industries that people are already using on a daily basis, that they really don't have a choice. And right now, those industries is really the banks and big investment firms. That's where the real money is. Now, for the last couple of months, we've been hearing about a company called BlackRock that has been proposing to bring a Bitcoin ETF, and they've registered with it and submitted to the SEC to go through this process. BlackRock has a 99% success rate with their ETFs, 99%. But you got to know, who is BlackRock? Well, BlackRock is one of the biggest investment firms on the planet. They have huge influence, more than $10 trillion. Now, I've stated this for 20 years in the direct selling space, that sometimes it's not the person who's making the most money or who has the largest team that has the most influence in a company or in any area. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. He's not the richest man in the world, but he wields enormous influence. When he moves, not only is his $10 trillion backed company moving, but all the other investment companies as well move when they move. That's called influence. And 5 years ago, he was very, very critical of Bitcoin, just like Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, just like Warren Buffett's buddy, Charlie Munger. All the old school billionaires, they weren't trying to hear about this thing called Bitcoin and crypto, but they were talking about blockchain. Even Bill Gates was being negative about crypto, but people forget, I saw his interview in 2014 where they said, "Can you tell us one thing about Bitcoin?" And he said, without even thinking, "Bitcoin can't be stopped." That was in 2014. Bitcoin can't be stopped. And then in 2015, this is the last time he, at that time, was said anything positive about it. He said, "Bitcoin represents freedom." So Bill Gates said two things: Bitcoin can't be stopped, Bitcoin represents freedom, and then he was negative about it. But they were all positive about something else called distributed ledger technology, blockchain technology. But before I get into that, this is also going to be like a reaction type series, because I'm going to play some video clips and I'm going to be giving my commentary throughout it. But this one, I'm going to let this one play all the way through to show you guys how the industry of the financial industry responding to BlackRock getting into the crypto space. Take a look at this.
I want to ask a completely different question for you, Tom, because he's our overall ETF maven here. We have seen a spate of new Bitcoin ETF offerings recently, including from BlackRock. Even though everybody knows the SEC and Gary Gensler is completely hostile to the idea, and everybody said, well, they're going to say no to a Bitcoin ETF, just like they said no to everybody else. But I'm wondering why now? What does BlackRock think they're going to get out of this effort?
You can't get away from your favorite subject here, can you?
People ask me about it, and I don't have an easy answer for it. I always think I'm missing something here.
I think you're right. I think your sniffer
you think
usually
I'm missing
is
something?
No. I think you're onto something. I think your sniffer's always really pretty good, Bob. If BlackRock all of a sudden has filed for a Bitcoin ETF that's not futures based, it's spot Bitcoin,
right.
Okay? And Gensler said, no way, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, they're bringing together some pretty good partners from a custody standpoint. They've got Bank of New York Mellon, they've got Coinbase,
right.
They've got an agreement, a surveillance agreement with NASDAQ to help with the security aspect of it. So they're trying to show the SEC that they're putting all the safety provisions in place to give them the confidence, to give them that acceptance of their application. I think the big thing we know is Gensler said, we're not going to do anything there unless we have the exchanges regulated, and Coinbase is not regulated.
But that's my question. Do you think this is going to change their mind? I can't, without the clear regulatory authority, and they're not getting a bill through Congress, so now he's just resorted to to essentially suing everybody. He's trying to regulate essentially by filing complaints.
Yeah.
I don't see how this changes.
If anybody can get it done, would you bet against Blackrock?
No.
You know, they're the behemoth, right? They're the.
That's why I'm thinking. I still don't quite get.
Yeah.
I don't. How are they going to change his mind?
I mean, if they can partner with Coinbase and say, look, you agree to get regulated, what would that do to your business? Imagine institutional investments, just 1% allocation to Coinbase, and what that would mean. We're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people like you that are saying, is this finally the time? Is it going to happen?
We're going to follow this very carefully, folks, because, again, they're not going to waste their time.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Yeah.
BlackRock isn't, if they don't think they have some chance
Sure.
of doing something here.
Now, isn't that interesting? They're not going to waste their time. Now, I noticed I was practicing with this because I haven't done this before using StreamYard. It's not going to allow me to play my video inside of here and be able to stop and pause. So I'm going to have to share screen and play it externally on my next clip. So I wasn't able to stop in that. But you guys see that. BlackRock made a move and everybody's starting to pay attention. And they're saying, what? Why are they doing this? Do they know something we don't know? They're not going to get in something just to waste our time. There must be something to this. We better pay attention. You see, I always do a series called The River of Money. Follow the river of money. After I do this next clip, I'm going to share this site right here. Sometimes you've got to visualize. Where is all the world's money? I'm going to show you a visualization of all the world's money and markets in one visualization. So if you follow the river of money, you'll be able to understand where money is going, who controls the money, and where are they putting their focus on. You put in Google any major bank in blockchain or metaverse, and you will be astonished by what you see. And this is for those who have no idea what to do. I don't know. I want to get off my 9-to-5 job. I just don't know what industry I need to get in. Where's the money going? That's the industry you need to get in. So before I go share this site, oh, you can't even see this site. I forgot. I didn't have to share screen. Let me share screen. All right, I'm back. Yeah, let me share screen now. I hit the wrong button. I left the studio. So let's come over here. No, not that. All right, now share screen. And the audio is open. All right, so this is going to be a test study because I have not done it like this on StreamYard. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have done it on YouTube. I mean, on Zoom. But we'll see if this works. So I'm going to play this video clip and I'm going to let it run and I'm going to be pausing it in between. So you guys let me know if anything sounds off. If you can't hear the audio or you cannot hear me. But 5 years ago, Larry Fink was negative about crypto or feigned ignorance. He acted like, I don't know, I don't know what this is. Nobody's been telling me that they want to do this, what this is about. Take a listen to this.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability? No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure? No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure. Really? Yes.
All right. I'm looking at this on my Facebook, and I don't see it playing. Do you guys see any audio playing? The screen looks black on the Facebook wall. but I don't know what it's looking like for you guys. So let me know if it's actually playing or not, because then I'm going to have to just let this thing run without my commentary, and I didn't want to do that. That's not the point. I wanted to be able to break. It's black. All right, so let me try it a different way. All right, let's stop sharing screen. Let's present, share screen. What if I did it this way? Okay.
True that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
All right, let's come back. This just might work. All right, I think I figured it out. Let's try this again. So let me know in the chat if you see it and you can hear it.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto.
All right, hold up. Okay, let me go back. They ask him the question, you are in charge of a $10 trillion investment firm. Do you think there's any time he is not certain about what he's going to say? He's like, okay, let me play. Let's run this back. Listen to this.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
That means yes, but I'm not ready to tell you that yet. You see that?
No. I mean, we're looking at it.
And then he says, I mean. So it's like anytime somebody says a statement and then but anything that they said before is incorrect. So he said, nah, I mean, we're looking into it.
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto.
Now you see what he did there, because this is a big thing that all the bankers did 5, 6, 7 years ago. They always was negative in anything about Bitcoin and crypto, but always positive about the technology, blockchain technology. So listen to how he breaks this down.
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any.
You have a $10 trillion fund, and you mean to tell me that none of your clients has asked about Bitcoin? And you're right. You said he said it with his eyes closed. You guys are starting to understand body language. Remember in our inner circle, I broke down Sam Altman when he was speaking. So let's run that back a little bit.
Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no.
At the moment, no. Everything he's saying is a lie right now. So I say never listen to what they say, follow what they do. He's already been preparing, and he knows about this because, let's back up, when asked about Bitcoin, he starts talking about blockchain.
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto.
Wait.
We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the crypto.
We're looking at blockchain technology.
Blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. But right now, I can tell you, worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
Blackrock, the most powerful asset manager in the world with a $10 trillion portfolio, is investing in cryptocurrency.
This is not going to be an easy task. Capital is moving, and it's going to move very rapidly. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities.
Wait, what? Now, the first part of that clip was 5 years ago. This is right now. Tokenization of securities.
We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
Do not be fooled. Don't let Larry Fink's friends go on TV and convince you not to buy this time around. While Hillary and friends continue to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt about crypto into the minds of the general public, BlackRock has been forced to disclose that they're into it.
Well, wait, did you see that figure?
BlackRock.
$14 trillion earthquake. Fidelity and BlackRock are quietly laying the groundwork for the next Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto price bull run. We haven't seen nothing yet. Bitcoin going to $69,000 was done from retail investors. And if you don't understand retail, that's code word meaning for people who ain't rich. All right. What do you think's going to happen when real money comes into the space? Because right now, people still think this is real money. That's not real money. But keep on listening to this.
Has been forced to disclose that they're into it.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important.
Okay, now he's a wizard. Now he's Satoshi Nakamoto. Now he's the expert. Now he understands and knows everything about this technology. Did this just happen overnight? Okay, listen to what he says.
Forced to disclose that they're into it.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk.
Remember that word. The entire bond market is being transformed. How big do you think that bond market is? Is it $1 million market? $1 billion market? How about multi-trillion?
Right now, I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities.
All right. He's on the river of money. He's already made billions of dollars. And then he just said, the river is about to change direction. I believe the next generation, so he's got to pull up anchor and flow in the new direction, is going to be in the tokenization of securities.
We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know.
And this is another thing that they're very good at doing. They speak in code. They know the majority of the people out there are not crypto educated. They barely understand what Bitcoin is. They don't know what blockchain technology is. And they don't even know that the word distributed ledger technology is the same thing. So when they want to speak in code like this, they'll say, instead of blockchain, they'll say distributed ledger technology. Let me run this back because there's a reason why I'm doing all this. You gotta listen to these billionaires like a forensic scientist. You gotta break it down.
For markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner,
He said something else there. If we can have that distributed ledger that we know, he's saying we, him, he's saying we already know this. Go back a little bit.
we will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous.
Okay, he's having an aha moment live in front of everybody. He's like, I mean, just think about it. I'm sharing my vision. Do you guys even see what's going on? If you just think about it. Look at this.
Selling, instantaneous settlement. I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stock. No middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting.
And by the way, this isn't the first time he's said this. Larry Fink has been getting more and more vocal on this.
This is one of the reasons why I'm focusing on the whole idea of blockchain for securities. I look forward to the day when we could tokenize stocks and bonds.
Tokenize stocks and bonds. I look forward to the day that we can tokenize stocks and bonds. Like I said, now he's an advocate for this. Just 5 years ago, ain't nobody, she's not doing nothing with crypto. It's nothing. Now look at them. Now they're on the. Now you have to ask yourself the question: why is he vocal now? The reason why he's vocal now is because they're already ready to go. It's the same thing with Jamie Dimon. He was critical, and then all of a sudden he's the biggest. He's all for it. Why? Because they already created it. There's nothing stopping it now. Now he's shilling it. He is pitching it.
Look forward to the day when we could tokenize stocks and bonds, that every stock and every bond we could identify immediately who is the beneficial owner. And this is why we're working on it. And every beneficial owner.
He said something else again. Did you catch that? This is why we're working on it. This is the biggest investment firm on the planet. He is publicly unveiling what they're going to do and what they're doing. That means Fidelity, NASDAQ, all the others out there that are smaller than Blackrock, if they want to remain competitive, if they want to stay in the game, they're going to have to do, whether they like it or not, whatever it is that Blackrock's doing. Because if they don't, their investors will say, well, just go with Blackrock if you're not going to provide us with the same services that they're offering. Light bulbs should be going off in some of you guys' head right now. Let me continue this. Let me back up a little bit.
Bonds, that every stock and every bond we could identify immediately who is the beneficial owner. And this is why we're working on it. And every beneficial owner, from an individual to an institution, have the ability to vote, to democratize every single vote. And that's where we want to take this, and we're leading that effort.
Wait, what? What was that last thing?
And that's where we want to take this.
And we're leading that effort. You think this is something they're just dabbling in? Jamie Dimon already said, well, not out of his mouth, his company Onyx, that they want to be the ones to define what the metaverse is. They want to be that on-ramp and off-ramp of financial transactions in the digital asset space of the metaverse. Now, BlackRock's saying, well, dang, if the river of money is changing directions, we want to lead that effort. He didn't say we want to lead it. He said we're leading that effort. Wealthy people stay wealthy for a reason. Year after year, decade after decade, generation after generation. They're making their move right now. This is an opportunity for us to hang along for the ride. Let me back up a little bit.
To vote, to democratize every single vote. And that's where we want to take this, and we're leading that effort. Oh, I actually believe most of the companies are not going to be around. I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX.
He's saying a lot with his body language here. He's excited. If you don't get it, he wants to say so much more, but he's holding himself back. He's very animated. Yeah, well, you're not in the know. I can't, just listen to what I'm trying to say. He's very excited. He's very relaxed. He's careful and he's confident. Look at his structure, his posture. He's confident about this. He already knows we're in the driving seat and we got this. Let me go back. I'll hold that question for a second, Jerry.
I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX. I mean, you could look back now. FTX created its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
When did this dude become a crypto expert? A blockchain expert? I would predict he knows more about Bitcoin and blockchain than I do. I would confidently say he knows more than I do. Julian says, can you give an example of tokenizing a stock or bond? In other words, they want to digitize it and they want to put it on the blockchain. So it's open source and tracked so that you don't need a middleman to do transactions, that all transactions through stocks and bonds will now be instantaneous. Just like when you're doing Bitcoin, they're going to create NFTs of everything. That's what he's talking about here. Not necessarily creating it as a crypto coin, but it's all going to be NFT based on the blockchain and tracked and eliminating the middleman. So they don't have to worry about it. Really, this is why he's so giddy. If you do this and it's decentralized, you're also avoiding the regulators, the police that are always watching stocks and bonds and who's doing things the right way, like Wolf of Wall Street or even Bernie Madoff. That's a whole another topic on if you digitize or tokenize stocks and bonds, then how will this be regulated? Because that hasn't been done in the United States yet. But he's giddy about this. Look at him. Like he's about to go to Disneyland. So let me back this up.
Its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
It was not distributed. So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system.
All right. Let me stop that share. How do I do that? Oh, let's bring it down. All right. I don't just listen or read things to listen or read. I break them down to understand. And he said a lot right there. So another thing that I'm listening to, he says, is some code words in there. He's very big on decentralization, DeFi, which means that if I'm going to be looking in the crypto space on if there's any tokens or things that I need to invest in, I need to take another strong look at my DeFi portfolio and try to figure out which one of these projects is going to survive the crypto storm when it comes. Because this is what he's looking at. He wants the decentralized part. He doesn't want the centralized part, which is a break from these billionaires who are always back in the traditional banking system. They see it as a dying entity now, and they're ready to maneuver themselves into DeFi. Some form of DeFi that they can control, which is going to be kind of funny. So what does this say? The river of money is flowing The billionaires have pulled it up anchor and they're moving. Now I want to give you a visual of the world's money. So I'm going to share screen again. Just put that there. This is going to be eye-popping for those of you who have never seen this before. All right, type Y in the chat box if you can see my screen properly. Make sure that we're good to go. All of the world's money and markets in one visualization. Now, we've seen politicians, we've seen the three-letter agencies all acting like crypto is going to bring down the entire world economy. You see this little box right here, this square? This represents $100 billion. This is Bitcoin. Okay? In fact, it's not just Bitcoin, it's all of crypto. This is all of crypto right here. In the entire world's its value around the world. Military spending. See this? It's far bigger than where crypto is. The US budget deficit. You see this? 3.8 trillion. Coins and banknotes. United States, Europe, other, China, Japan. Far bigger than that little being about crypto right there. What about the Fed's balance sheet? $7 trillion. The Fed's balance sheet. 40% that has over 40% of this total has been added in just 2020 alone. Billionaires around the world. 2,095 billionaires. I've said it. There's 51,000 millionaires and billionaires on the planet. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's not enough to go around if every single one of them wanted to own one whole Bitcoin. The world's billionaires represent $8 trillion. The market cap of all of crypto right now, let's refresh to be accurate, is 1.2 trillion. The billionaires have 8 trillion. There's 8 billion people on the planet. 2,095 of them have 8 trillion. Gold, 10.9 trillion. This is what's on the planet. Gold. Fortune 500 companies. The big five have 24% of that. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, and Facebook. Look at this size. Stock markets. And what did he say? I want to tokenize stocks and bonds. How big is this? $89.5 trillion. He wants to tokenize it. 89.5 trillion. Money supply. The total value of the world's easily accessible money is 35.2 trillion. This includes the world's coins, banknotes, and checking deposits. That is what's accessible. Real money is not accessible. This little green represents this. But the real wealth is the rest of this. Non-physical is where the real wealth is. So the total value of the world's money is about 95.7 trillion. Global debt, 253 trillion. Global debt. Households, governments, non-financial corporates, financial sector. What about real estate? Have you ever heard the term, we want to tokenize real estate? Look at this. Behemoth. Global real estate. Residential was total is 360.6. No, that's global wealth. 220 trillion residential, 33 trillion commercial, 27 trillion agricultural. Then global wealth, 360.6 trillion. North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, China, India, Latin America, and Africa. So you see where the bulk of the wealth is. It's in North America with 31.8% of the world's wealth. And North America has a total population of less than 400 million people. We're talking about, well, maybe about a little more than 400 million. Mexico, United States, and Canada. Then we got Europe, 39, or Asia Pacific, 39.2. Actually, they've got the biggest bulk. The Asia Pacific countries with China and India. Derivatives. Gross market value 11.6 trillion, notional value 558.5 trillion. And for those of you who say, well, what's a derivative? Well, a derivative is a contract between two or more parties that derives its value from the performance of an underlying asset, index, or entity. Examples of derivatives: futures contracts, forward contracts, options, warrants, swaps. This is stuff the average person is not engaged in, but yet look how big it is. Look at this. What is that value? 1 quadrillion. 1 quadrillion. Look at this. It keeps going. This is where the wealthy people play. Yet everybody is worried about this. This is a crypto space right now. So sometimes you've got to see the visual to understand what's about to happen. If you still think you're late on Bitcoin and crypto, you're not. You're still at the beginning because real money hasn't touched this yet. But with Blackrock moving into this space, that's going to open up all of this. And if just 1% of Blackrock came into this space, just 1%, remember there are 10 trillion. You know, honestly, even just 10%, that's an extra $1 trillion added, which is also going to bring a flood of other investors. I love that, Prosper. I just opened your eyes, huh? So now that BlackRock is making the move, everybody is. So the next 2 bull runs are going to be off the charts. Now, I have my predictions for that, but I only share that in my inner circle. My inner circle. You want to be in my inner circle, it costs you $49 a month to be in my inner circle, and I do my inner circle talks. And there's a link if you want to get that. But this is why I'm paying close attention to what BlackRock is doing and what they're all about. This is insane. You will be kicking yourself 10 years from now, wishing that you did more than what you're currently doing right now. Because this is happening whether you like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not. Your opinion of this is irrelevant. That's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I will be back for, I got a WGC training tonight in about an hour. I hope this makes sense. And it is why I do what I do and why I'm still in this space. I'm not here to make a little bit of money. I'm not here to just make a couple million. I'm here to create generational wealth for my family, where the biggest economic shift in wealth is taking place right now. All right. Brad Ball, he says, actually $500 worth. And there are people out there that share not even half of what I share. I only do it once a week, and they charge $1,000 a month. All right, I'm going to end on this video. I will see those of you in the WGC community in about an hour and 15 minutes. And the rest of you guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bitcoin Brendan out. Bye-bye. From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today, will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you would have invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?